Hello, friends. As we progress into the future, the space travel is becoming a big reality. It's a reality for all of us, and in fact, it looks like from now that in next 30 years we will become a interstellar species. That means we would have multiple bases on the moon as well as on the Mars. Actually, these are all the close by locations. However, we have to still overcome certain barriers. These barriers are basically protection of the humans who are actually traveling into the space. Number one is the radiation. For that, the technology is available. We have shielding technology where we can actually provide a lot of shielding to the space faring travelers, humans basically, men and women, also our pets. So that is not a big issue. The big issue are the two, which is the gravity, artificial gravity, and the food. So artificial gravity also, you can have a sort of a workaround where you can actually start using centrifugal force as the artificial gravity. So we will come to that, but today I would like to talk about the food issue, because the food is the biggest limiting factor for human travel. If we have to travel in the outer space, what is that we are going to eat? Are we going to eat at all? And if we are not going to eat, then how we are going to survive? So these are the very, very big question, and for those questions there are no answers yet. However, the research is going on. Way back in 2019, Chinese actually started an experiment where actually on the moon they try to grow a cotton plant. So the nearest destination is the moon, and it looks like, and it is a very practical, because moon is just a 3 days ride from Earth. So if you actually set up our moon base first, that will give us a lot of practice. But we have found the water on the south pole of the moon, so we have the water. From the water we can actually create oxygen, also hydrogen, which can be used as fuel for our moon base. However, food is a big problem, because food is quite heavy, and we cannot lift the food from Earth all the way to the moon. It becomes very, very expensive proposition to, and humans eat a lot, especially men and women. They would need a lot of food to survive on the surface of the moon, or in future surface of the Mars. So considering that limitation, taking the food from Earth is absolutely no. I mean, we can go for a week trip to International Space Station carrying these packed food, it's okay, but going to the moon and then setting up a permanent base on the moon, we should have a permanent solution for our food. Therefore, the NASA has started their first realistic experiment where they want to basically grow food on the surface of the moon. This is going to be a major milestone, because outcome of this particular experiment will actually give the humans who are traveling towards the moon to set up the moon colony. It will be a good boost, and there may be many players who would like to volunteer and go to the surface of the moon, set up the first colony, if the food situation is taken care. And therefore NASA is now going to try and sample the lunar soil. We call it regolith. It has a certain particular properties, and whether the soil is having the chemical properties that it can support the chemical reaction which are needed for the life or needed for the plants, that needs to be determined. So Artemis, as you know, is the moon program. It's a moon based program which NASA is actually working on. So our Artemis, a couple of Artemis projects are dedicated to only understand the electrical transmission properties of the lunar regolith, which is the lunar soil. And once that is determined, then subsequently NASA has decided that they will try and grow potato on the surface of the moon, because if the lunar regolith is conducive enough to kickstart the ingredients which can actually support life, then we can start growing our crop. And we can grow wheat, we can grow barley, we can grow vegetables, but then in order to provide real food, we need something like potato, because potato is quite versatile. It can grow. If it grows on the surface of the moon, it will fulfill lot of requirements for the humans basically on the surface of the moon, because potato is quite rich in nutrient. It is also quite rich in carbohydrate, because carbohydrate may be needed for a high labor intensive work, which maybe the earlier humans may be subjected to. They may have to walk around on the surface of the moon, do some sort of labor. There may be robots also, there may be AI controlled machines, but humans have to live, survive, and then follow the especially the life cycle that they follow on the earth. And then once they have done their project, they can come back to earth and live life normally, and then they can go back, because there will be farms. If the potato grows as part of this project, then there will be big hope for our future space traveling initiatives, because if we are able to provide food for our future astronauts, then we don't have to carry food from here. We just have to send our humans from Earth to Moon, or to Mars, or to Venus, or even beyond. The food situation will be taken care of, because that is the main item. If we don't have supply lines, then there is no way we can expand. So this is one very exciting information that is happening, which NASA has announced last week. And subsequently, in one of the Artemis mission, the initiative of testing whether the potato can grow with controlled environment with various techniques. One of the biggest technique that future space colonies may follow is the hydroponic way of cultivation, where they may not actually use the way the crops are cultivated on Earth, which is basically dependent on the atmosphere and the nutrient in the soil. In the space or on the moon, the nutrients can be administered using water. So various techniques are there, and but first of all, whether the potato can grow on the surface of the moon. If it grows, and if it is not poisonous, it is edible, then it is going to give us a big boost for the future space traveling, and that will also give us good enough supply for our future colony beyond moon. So we can actually use moon as the base, and then from there we can start sending people to Mars, set up the base on Mars, and then eventually reach Titan, which is on Saturn. So it's basically something which is very, very exciting, which is happening right now as we speak, and we are covering this, we are talking about it. If you are basically having any doubts, any comments, please feel free to send it across. Thanks for joining me live, and I will catch you in the next one in the Akulmach Science Show. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye for now.